What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Mikey Pipes. And in this video, we're taking you on the conclusion, part 2 of the 2-system, 3-ton ACiQ side discharge inverter HVAC heat pump system. This is our probably 4th or 5th ACiQ install. It allows me to private label the equipment and deliver a phenomenal system at a fraction of the price of the competitors. Let's go! All right, we are here for part 2 of the 2 ACiQ 3-ton heat pump HVAC system install. We're taking out 2 Rheem air handlers. We already took out the outdoor condensing units. We're going to replace some line set. We're going to put in some 2 new air handlers. It's going to be a night and day difference. Dual fuel, because we have the hydro coil off of the boiler and the heat pump capabilities of the system. We're going to revamp all of this. In that corner, deep in there, there's a little knee wall for that attic, and that's where our new line set is. We'll be all right. We'll get it replaced. Easy peasy. Okay, gentlemen and ladies, 8 a.m. Let's get the show on the road. All right, here are those 2 outdoor units that we installed last week. We got to connect the line set to this one for the 2nd floor. By the way, these are 2 3-ton systems, side discharge. So when you have side yard setbacks, you're not going to have a big giant condenser sitting there on the ground. You're going to have this nice, sleek, low profile system. Does heating and cooling all in the same box, and it's inverter driven. This was the line set going to our basement unit. Our disconnects, our surge protection for both outdoor units. We're going to put surge protectors on the indoor unit as well. Let me show you the 1st floor air handler. Let me get some light on the subject. There's the air handler for the 1st floor. We're also going to change the hydronic coil here, the fan coil. I guess this is on for the indirect. Wow, yeah. Hopefully that's the indirect. Yep, that's on, that's off, that's off. What's great about having these heat pumps is that if the homeowner has a low electric bill, you know, the cost of the energy is cheap, or they have solar panels on their roof, having a heat pump could be more efficient than running a gas-fired condensing boiler like they have here, this Munchkin. Okay, let's get the show on the road. All right, let's start. Oh, thank God. Let's start removing the sheet metal screws holding the supply plenum to the hydro coil. And fortunately, we don't have any screws behind the unit. I'm working in the basement. Daniel's working in the 3rd floor. We're gonna get this done. Probably before Peter even shows up. She never likes to show up on time on install day. I got another screw right there, and then a couple there. All right, I have all the electric disconnected from the air handler. Cutting out the line set. Goes up and across. All right. I gotta drain down the coil. Peter? These is us just the shell of the unit. Damn. Yeah, it's much dirtier in person. That's the reason why it doesn't want to move. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the air handler coil is removed from the supply and return plenums. And I gotta admit, excuse me, I gotta admit that I've seen a lot of crazy stuff over the course of my professional career here. But I have never seen such stupidity before like this. Check this out. So I was able to pull the hydro coil. Yeah, a good amount of dirt there. It's going to affect airflow. And I'll tell you a story about that in a minute. But take a look at this. You guys ready? This is the return plenum box. The air handler was sitting on top of it. There's that return plenum coming from overhead. This is an upflow system, by the way. And take a look at that, by the way. That's a sump pump sitting inside this return plenum box, which I guess turns into like a little miniature pool or a sump pump pit. So I guess instead of fixing the issue of why there's water in the bottom of the ductwork, someone put a condensate pump in it and pumped it into the other pump, and then it went away. Genius. Absolutely genius. Just when you thought you've seen it all. Thoughts and feedback on that?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I was just telling the audience that I've seen a lot of crazy stuff, but I've never seen a sump pump in a return plenum that turned into a pool probably during the summertime.
It's kind of not a bad idea, though.
Not a bad idea. Instead of, putting lipstick on a pig, they made that pig look sure damn pretty. I'd do her. You do the pig? Just say you would.
I would.
There you go. Okay. You need help with that air handler?
No, I was going to shut off the zones. You did that already.
That coil's staying, that one upstairs.
Yeah, but
this one's going.
Just in case.
Smart. Very, very smart. Yeah. What was the plan here with this, by the way?
That's going...
This is going away?
Yeah.
And then you're going to connect to this somehow?
Yeah, right where that seam is. Going to try to connect. We should have wiggle room.
Wiggle room, yeah?
Yeah.
And then this is going to get cut a little bit, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be cut.
Okay. Okay. Let me know when you need some help. There are many who say that I don't lead by example, or I don't work just as hard as my guys do. I say hogwash, because now I am going to work very carefully to pull this line set out. Okay. And let's not forget those that commented about a dryer vent. Okay? That is not a dryer vent. That is the kitchen exhaust on the opposite side of this wall. Okay? So chill. See any dryer lint there, by the way? No, there's no dryer lint anywhere here. Oh man, people love busting my chops, I swear. All right, our air handler is installed on a new base without a sump pump. I cut open the bottom a little bit to bring in some more air. We're going to use the filter grill, that magnetic filter, not a filter grill, that filter cover. We're going to use that as the filter that the homeowner is going to change every 30 days. I think I lined up pretty good. Top as well. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. I love the ACiQ air handlers because we have flare connections out there. There's no need to braze. There's no need to have a nitrogen tank The risk and liability of contaminants in the system are slim to none now. I do have to, sorry, the light's dying. I do have to run my line set, and we'll figure that out in a hot minute. But I got to get to that opening over there. And I'm probably going to, oh, stop it. I know your battery's dying. It was just full 2 hours ago. I'm probably going to shove the line set in from the outside in and then down. And yeah, maybe do a little offset here because this is in the way. Sucks, but we'll manage. Let's go check in on Daniel and Peter in the attic. It's not every day I climb a spiral staircase, but when I do, I make sure I wear booties.
Julio said okay.
Not too shabby. You have to flip that duct around, huh?
No.
No?
It's the same direction.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Line set and... What's up with all the duct work there?
This is all from the ducts over there.
Oh.
Had to disconnect it.
How's your hole?
There.
It's there, huh?
Oh, it's tight.
Yeah, that's what she said. Get that right, Peter. Well, the line set's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be all right. All right, I got my line set ran to this air handler. All the way out there. I'm gonna have to throw a couple couplings outside on the 3/4 and the 3/8, but we're gonna use the supplied, I guess you want to call them flexible adapters with flare on one side and allows us to braze, or we can cut the swedge off and ZoomLock onto the, I guess, flexible adapter. I'll show you that in a minute outside when we start working on the line set connections, but we still got to do the hydronic coil here, and tape up and mastic the seams here, but looking pretty nice. I'm quite happy the way this came out. Really, really nice. And she's still running. Check the history here. February 2017, we did the backflow on number 30. Yep. A month later, the control board inside the Munchkin. 2018, first floor zone valve. Looks like it's gonna be the first one. Hey, look, 1118. See, even when, wow, this is a couple years before COVID, when I was not posting every day on YouTube. Crazy. Yeah, Sharpie, okay, 1118. So November 2018. See, and there's my combustion analysis from, looks like 2017 there. See, boiler, CO. Wow. Crazy. Look at this beautiful ACiQ 36 PAH, the Extreme Plus air handler. It uses the 454B, by the way. We have enough of it. I got about 60 pounds of it, so I'm quite happy. One of the YouTube subscribers made me aware that a local distributor has some. I quickly ran over there and got a few jugs at a very reasonable price. Double that it was last year, of course. And of course, being the capitalist pig that I am, I put one of them on eBay for $2,000. And it's not selling because eBay removed the listing because it violates the hazardous policy for listings on eBay, even though there's companies selling 20 pounds of 454B for $26.99, $2,699. But that's okay, all right? Makes no sense. All right, I gotta make that connection. That 3/4 on the vertical, it's got to connect to that 3/8 flare connection. I'm not going to use the flexible connection that, or the flexible connector that came with the unit. Just like this, designed to be bent. But my vertical piece is hard pipe. I'm not going to try to bend that because it's not going to work. So I'm going to bend a piece of soft 3/4 copper, and I'll put a coupling there, and I will flare one end with a nut and get it connected with some Armorflex. Here we go. I think this is long enough. So it is 10 minutes after 12 here, and we started this job at around 7:45 in the morning. Now, last week, part one, I hope it's not raining. Last week, part one, we removed the 2 condensing units that were here. There's a video on it. And then we ran the line set to the air handler located in the 3rd floor walk-up attic. It's a walk-up by means of spiral staircase. And I just felt a raindrop on my, I feel little raindrops. Raindrops are falling on my head. So I'm gonna have to move a little quicker. Where is my flaring tool? Oh, man. Where is, not the flaring tool, the bender. Where is the bender? Come on. Oh my God, I don't know what I did with the bender. I found the bender. Now I'm gonna flare the 3/4 pipe. Pretty good stuff. Love it. Perfect flare every time. Now I'm having extreme difficulties getting the flare nut onto the tubing. It's like they didn't account for contractors in the field using their own tubing, and they're taking for granted that the contractors are going to use those flexible connectors that came on it, but it's very, very hard to get it on there. So that piece is on. Let's take a measurement. I'm going to cut this back a little bit and then use a ZoomLock 3/4 coupling to press it together. All right, I have my 3/4 and my 3/8 line set connected. I use a torque wrench to properly torque in pounds the flare nuts on both lines. And I didn't have any Liquid-Tight. I'd like to normally cover my control wiring with Liquid-Tight, but there are none in the trucks. And Daniel said he ordered some from supplyhouse.com. Should have been here yesterday. It didn't arrive. And I looked at the cameras in the shop. It's not there. So it is what it is. I'm not worried about landscapers killing this. There's no grass here. I know there may be grass in the future, and I'll deal with it then, but it's literally 2.5 feet off the ground. We'll deal with it. We are doing the communicating system here. We could wire RC, Y1, Y2, but we're just wiring 2 wires, and it's S1, S2 on the far right bottom. Now, the manual does say polarity doesn't matter, but it does. If you reverse them, it's not going to work properly. At least I've experienced that myself. So S1 is on the right and S2 is on the left. I have red and white, which match and correspond to the 2 terminals on the board inside the air handler. We're done. We just got to vacuum down. All right, I am all set up to vacuum down as deep as we can go. I want this to be a very, very deep and extremely dry vacuum process. I got the EcoTools Blue Vac Plus Pro micron gauge on my liquid side or high pressure side in cooling mode. I have the EcoTools True Blue evacuation kit. I got both hoses hooked up to my field piece. Links to all this stuff will be in the description box down below. I should be able to pull a vacuum and pass a decay test in under 10 minutes. Let's get the show on the road, get my ballast open. And we are already at valves. There we go. I had one of my straight core removal tool valves closed. Alright, and let's see how quickly we can drop down. It is 12:40. Let's go for 12:48. Okay, 12:48. I'm gonna be keeping it real. It is 1:26. We spent about 50 minutes since vacuuming and not really getting anywhere, and then doing a nitrogen test until I heard a loud bang, like a gunshot occurred in the backyard, but it was above me. So now I'm up on the roof, and right up there, keeping it real, we failed, or I failed, to press the fitting. Let me show you. Dump da dump, dump da dump da dump, dump da dump. It was never pressed. Can you believe that? I never pressed it in. Ain't that some shit? So one of the things you get while watching this channel is keeping it uncut, unedited, raw. Like that mess up right there. All right, 8 minutes to 2 here in the afternoon. We are at 380 microns and dropping. She passed a nitrogen test. I got the covers all back on. All right, it only took about an hour-ish out of my day, sorry. I'm a little flustered right now. I'm upset that I missed that. I really am. I'm usually very observant and very articulate person when it comes to my job, my profession. And for me to miss that is very upsetting. And of course, now that I killed an hour, now it's starting to rain. So I have to get that 3/8 ran to here. And then I got to dump this charge and add some 454. I can't even talk right now. Yeah, 454B. The A2L refrigerant that Mikey Pipes by ACiQ uses on their new inverter systems. If you're interested in private label, such as these two Extreme Plus side discharge inverter heat pump outdoor units, check out the folks over at ACiQ on their website, ACiQ.com. Phenomenal products, good stuff. We have a 7-year compressor warranty, a 10-year parts warranty. That may be reversed. I'm a little tired, I'm sorry. But I would highly recommend that you get an extended warranty through maybe JB Warranties or AIG, whoever your extended warranty provider is that you use to provide extended warranties for your clients. I highly recommend that you get an extended warranty on the equipment. Because even though they look great and they work fine, they work beautifully actually, not fine, they work beautifully. You know, if something goes wrong, you want to make sure you're covered for labor at a minimum, you know what I mean? All right, we're going to straighten out this piece of 3/8 copper and get the show on the road. All right, let's get that end. Oh, I need a couple bucks. Okay, hold that end. All right. Let's do a little bit here. It's crazy how this thing makes it perfectly straight. You take your end. Look at that. What was once coiled is now straight. Straight as an arrow. One more pass, all the way to the end. Okay, good. Take a 3/8 coupling, put at the end of that. Okay, I'm gonna give you the 3/8 jaw on the ZoomLock. Is there a stop on there? You'd see it, a little indentation on the coupling. Yeah. There is, okay. Make sure that's fully inserted, press that in. Easy peasy. Always full disclosure here, folks. 215, 90 microns. We did a triple evacuation with nitrogen. This is the third time we're vacuuming down. I'm only doing that because that ZoomLock fitting wasn't pressed in, and we had a potential atmosphere entering into the piping and moisture, so I'm trying to get a really tight and dry system here. So we're going to close up the valves and hopefully she passes the ADK test. All right, we got power now. Someone had the breakers off. So let's okay. Let's pop this bad boy in. Little sizzle. And we're protected. Excellent. And I just heard a click on the inverter. Let's go to the thermostat. Okay. Nice, beautiful thermostat. We gotta connect to Wi-Fi. We have to add refrigerant. Wow, I remember that place. Jugs and Strokers. Merrick. 1 3/4 pounds. So 1.25 pounds. Yep, it's that time. You see this stuff right here? This R454B? This is liquid gold. You can't buy this stuff. Even if you wanted to pay thousands of dollars for it. Not available. All right, we're gonna add 1.75 pounds. We're gonna weigh it in based on the length of the line set. Okay. I'm gonna zero out our gauge. Let's add some refrigerant. And then we're gonna use our Just Better climate class probes to check our subcooling, our superheat, and all that other good stuff. Got a nice discharge temperature out of here. Beautiful, beautiful side discharge machine. Got some weight to it, just like the air handler, about 175 pounds, but a very, very, very nice machine. I gotta work on a better design for my stickers. Custom private label. All right, let's close that up. Let's hook up our wireless probes and take some measurements. All right, so right now we're doing a little bit of work inside, but I wanna show you a very cool feature. It's in a self-cleaning mode right now. And after every use, the fan runs in reverse and it cleans the condensing coil. It's a pretty awesome feature. It's running in reverse, just a fan at high speed, just to blow any dirt that got captured in the condensing coil out of the coil. I think that's genius. Absolutely genius. Amazing. All right, a few minutes to 4 here in the afternoon. This system's been running for about 45 minutes. I'm waiting for condensation to start flowing into the condensate trap. I'm working on the first floor system. Daniel's wiring it inside. We're at 173 microns. I'm hooked up to the Evac app. You can get it on the App Store or the Google Play Store. Got a nice deep vacuum there. 172 microns, and she's staying around there. Slowly dropping. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start the isolation test. So we do it the K test. So we're going to close the 2 valves. Okay. Start that decay test. Close the other valve. It did jump up to 78 and slowly climbing. And let's see if she passes the decay test. 13 seconds in, 15 seconds in. I've been waiting for it to say pass decay test, and I've been playing with the hoses, but we are slowly dropping down on the micron gauge. I'm gonna dump the charge and start her up once Daniel's ready. You know what I'm gonna say? I'm not a sailor or a seaman. John Phillips. I'm sure he wraps his extension cords like a seaman in the U.S. Navy.
I'm trying to think of how you would do it. Longer loops?
That's all right, just tie it up. But you need a longer, like, pigtail there, otherwise it's gonna fall apart. Okay. All right, the caps are back in place. Let me put that cover back on there, and then we're gonna fire this up in moments. All right, the indoor unit is running. It's 27 after 4 o'clock here. Still the same day. Still the 13th? I can't tell. I'm exhausted. 12th? 13th. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. We put a new hydro coil up on the top. There's our power and and DC board. There's our blower, our evaporator. Nice new pan it's sitting on with some ductwork right there. Given what we're working with, I'm very impressed. I'm very, very impressed given what we're working with. We got it done. Unbelievable. And we still got to do condensate, but just about done. I'm exhausted. 4:37. Still Tuesday, May 13th. But they look awesome. They really do look awesome. And I am sitting between both of them, and you don't even hear them running right now. But they're running at 100%. Pretty effing awesome. All right, I'm taking a last trip up here. Make sure that we are make sure that we're gonna pump away. Make sure she's running. Come on, baby. Don't fail me now. Kick on. Gotta get this cap back on nicely. Okay. I need this to activate. Oh. It's almost kind of empty. Yeah. Okay, so it ran. Good. Okay. Beautiful. Let's just do throw a little sticker on there. Oh yeah, baby. And listen, I wasn't contracted to replace ductwork or the coil. I was contracted to replace the air handler, put a new condensate pan in, and the line set, because the system has a history of leaks. And we're going from R22 to an A2L refrigerant. And if it's possible and it's within the budget to replace the line set, let's get it done, because I'm not going to risk having leaks in line set and telling her blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So we're up and running here. Let's set our thermostat to where it needs to be.
And the correct time is scheduled up there?
No, but let's hook it up to your Wi-Fi and it will do it automatically. And I even did a quick little PM on that. Don't even ask. But I will give you a little tour on it. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
That's one, and that's it.
And that, so you you said these do self-cleanings, is it on a program or does it?
After every time it runs, once it turns off, that one's off already.
Yeah.
Once it turns off, the fan runs in reverse at high speed to push all the dirt back out of the
So I
coil.
have nothing to, I don't have to.
Well, no, you still need to do maintenance, every year, like a normal system, right? But it's designed to keep the coil clean and running at 100% efficiency. You have a dirty coil, it's like a dirty filter inside the house.
Right.
Speaking of filters, we're going to order you a case of filters,
Yeah, because
and
I
they're
took
gonna.
some out. I took some out.
Yeah, and you're gonna when the case comes in, we'll make an appointment. We'll come in here. We'll show you where they go. Each system has a slide-in slot for a filter, and you'll change that, and we'll check that as needed. Every maybe 30 to 60, 90 days.
Because I took 2 of them out.
Yeah, you're not gonna use those anymore.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna use the filter on the actual unit itself.
Where is that, all the way up in the wall?
One's up in the attic, yes, and the other one's in the basement.
In the basement. And it gets into the basement. Yeah. And this is all done, this is all
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Pretty impressive. Different,
It is.
drastic change.
I know. It's like a, Yeah.
Yeah, and it's quiet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
And they're quiet.
Like I was using it, I supposed to be
We're testing it, yeah, but.
Yeah. That's very cool. The other
And they're very, very efficient. And unlike traditional, I think we spoke about this, but
Yeah.
unlike traditional air conditioning systems,
Yeah.
which imagine getting into your car and it was pedal to metal or off,
Oh,
right? So that's how traditional air conditioning systems work.
yeah.
It's like an on-off switch, for the lighting. So if you only need like a little bit of light, right, you have to have that thing fully on, right, like a dimmer switch. So these new systems now have variable speed compressors. They're not really compressors; they're inverters, but and they ramp up or down automatically based on what it senses. And even like, let's say you neglect to replace your filter, the fan will ramp up speed to compensate for a dirty filter. And then you'll get notification. And you'll get a notification on your phone as long as you have Wi-Fi hooked up to your thermostat and it's connected to the Wi-Fi network. And you have the app on your phone, or it'll tell you what.
Will it go to you too?
No.
It's like a central.
No.
Individual.
It's not like that. No, it's just you. It'll alert you. Hey, the filter's probably dirty. You need to change the filter. All right, but you can set all that stuff up if you hook it up to the Wi-Fi. Sorry. Or you can just use the thermostat as you normally have it. You don't have to hook it up to that. But like daylight savings time, it does that automatically. When the fall ahead, spring back, and all that good stuff. But and I get it. Some people don't like the whole Big Brother thing. I hear you. I'm with you.
You get fried enough and
I know.
That's the only reason. Otherwise, it's easy. But
Yeah.
there's others.
Yeah. Any questions out here?
Yeah. This thing here, this doesn't have to be covered. Like this just.
No, nothing. There's nothing to cover.
Nothing. No.
They don't even make a cover because these are designed to be used year round.
I remember you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Slightly worse.
So let's say, God forbid, the boiler goes out.
Yeah.
Your thermostats will, I don't think it'll sense it, but it would run in heat mode and give you heat. And you wouldn't even know because you would have no hot water.
Then I would know.
All right, let me get rid of this. And yeah, we're basically done.
Oh, that's great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, full disclosure, it is 5:22 in the evening. The job is complete. Customer filled out the capital improvement form, so we don't have to collect sales tax for the great state of New York, because it is a capital improvement job. A copy of that goes on the service ticket in House Call Pro. I got paid. We discussed extended warranties that we offer through JB Warranty and AIG. They're similar, cover labor and extended warranty for a period of 10 years. You still got to do maintenance, so it is what it is. She said she'll think about it. I was like, okay, no problem, no pressure. It's all good. If you are an HVAC contractor and you're looking to provide a premium communicating HVAC system for your clients at a real deep discount comparing to a Carrier Infinity, check out the ACiQ. The folks over there are amazing. They're very responsive, and they pick up the phone when you have a problem. That's speaking volumes. Last time I had to call Carrier for a tech support issue on an inverter, they called me back the next day. Yeah. Let that sink in when your clients are calling you for service and it's 90 degrees out. All right? Remember that. A product is only as good as the manufacturer who stands behind it. Facts. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the support and the engagement for the entire community. If you live in the Long Island, New York City metropolitan area, you're interested in getting a system like we just installed today, pick up the phone and give me a call, 516-348-6300. Or email me, mike@pipedoc.net. That's PIPEDOC.net. And together I'll show you the new way to buy an HVAC system for your home or office. Catch you on the next one. Be well, God bless, stay safe. And don't forget, if your wife is hot, better get the AC fixed.